Good morning, everybody. We'll be starting in just a second. All right. Let's get the camera on. I got something in my eye this morning. Sorry about that. Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys could see me and I hope you guys can hear me. Let's say hello to everybody. We got David, we got Devin, we got Kevin, we got Steve, we got Richard, Brian, Dave, CJ, Robert, Kevin, Sherman, C. Fazio. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Ivano, Jayhawk fan. Anu Kumar is here. Robert, Vernon, Robert, James, Piet Brock. Brian, good morning, Brian. Yeah, I'll talk about that resolution in just a second, but you're absolutely right. Illinois grain farmer, Timothy, Jill, Javad, Wayne, Dave, Jeff, Arnulfo, Stephen, Mike, John, Karen DeShark is back. I love it. Love it. Whitco, Richard from Puente Gorda. Happy Tuesday to you too, my friend. Kirk, you got to come out here, visit us sometimes, Richard. You're not that far away, you know. You should come out here. I'll buy you a crunchy broccoli salad at the Loop. Kirk, Rice, Lydia, JB, Dom, Dr. Serena's back. Yay. So happy to see you, Dr. Serena. And I hope you feel better. Charlene, we got here. Let's see what we got here. We got Charlene, we got Wade, we got Kevin from Carlsbad. Good morning, good morning. Sassy Trainers in the house. Sin Lee, Vertuvian, Kathy, Pete, Naples fan, Duzzy, John, Charlie, Delroy, K. Lopez, Junior's in the house. Let's not forget about Junior. Don, Matt, Genevieve, Debbie, Ralph, Rachel, Jody, Rick, Patrick, Steve, Sergey is here. Lewis, Walt, Hopium, Brian. Good morning, Brian. Robert, Edward. Edward is Laura. All right. I'll call you Laura if you want me to call you Laura, Edward. Sharita is in the house. Stephen, Brian, Catherine, Peanuts. Yay. Peanuts is here. Pat, Richard. Good morning, Richard. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm going to be emailing you about our current trade. Want to know where your stop loss level is on that one. And I'll tell you where mine is at. Roddy, good morning. Roddy, I haven't seen you in a while. You know, Roddy, I was reading it's a funny story with Roddy. I was reading your testimonial in the pit class yesterday, and I was thinking to myself, you know, I haven't heard from Roddy in a long time. And then all of a sudden you're here a day after I read the testimonial. Have you been here every day, Roddy, and I just been missing you, or have you been around? Have you not been around? Haven't seen your name in a while, Roddy, but good to see you here. Good to see you here. Kirk, Peter, good morning. Hope you got my email yesterday. Gustavo, Stan, JB, Mark, Eagle Beagle is here. Eagle Beagle's in the house. Very, very good. All right. Um, Surgeries. Okay. Well, Roddy, see, I knew something was missing. This is what I mean. I know who's here and who's not here. I remember people really well. No joke, Roddy. I was doing the trading zone, not trading zone. I was doing what was I doing yesterday? Pro Trader Dashboard. And you were one of the testimonials. And I'm like, I used to hear from Roddy all the time. And all of a sudden, you're here. So good to see you, Roddy. Rick is here. Cheese Gray Trader, Mark, Frank, Patrick, Geothi, Cam. Good morning, Cam. Good morning, Cam. Where's Gustavo? Tamara's here. I hope you're doing better, Roddy, and I hope to see you here more frequently. Okay. All right, Raj, Doris, let's begin. We usually begin at about 8:05. Before we begin, just FYI, what I'd like for you guys to do, yes, is switch this from auto to 1080p like I'm doing right now. Make sure it says 1080p. You'll be able to see us really, really well. Let's not get too excited. Not that clear, but clear enough to make everything out. Okay. You'll be able to see to do that. And if you don't mind, if it's okay with you, give me a thumbs up. We one time. From what I understand, and I don't know if this is true, but it gives Google the image that we're doing well and we have a lot of people here, which is really, really good. So uh, just FYI on that. Okay. Real quick on that. Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Serena, Gregory, Mike. Moondog is in the house. Cam, everybody. Yeah, make sure you go to Customer Service Live. Kane is joining you today. Wow, that's great. Let me give you a link for that, and then we'll begin. Meanwhile, you know what I'm going to ask you guys in a second. What are the catalysts? Angie, good to see you here. What are the catalysts? Now, in case you're curious, what we got going down in the VIP room, Gramster is going to be joining me today. My old student Gramster is going to be joining me today. I love it. And let me tell you what my agenda is. We're going to be talking about, we had a really good agenda yesterday. Strategic place to put your stop loss when swing trading and day trading. How volatility impacts your option price and value. I think a lot of people don't realize this. I'm gonna do a live analysis on your favorite stock today. So get a list going, okay? So we're gonna do a live analysis on your favorite stock. I'm gonna talk about how volatility impacts your option price. I don't think you guys have a clue. I mean, really, I don't think you have a clue of the gravity of how much it impacts. Not have a clue, not have a clue. I don't think you guys have an idea of how big of an impact volatility can have on the price of your options. So I need you guys to have a wake-up call today. It's going to be a very important session. And how to use your stop loss strategically, okay? Strategically, not to make an ass out of yourself. Strategically, okay? All right. So, and again, your favorite stocks. I hope you guys can make it. It'll be a lot of fun. Mr. Omar is here. Here, Omar, I was gonna wait, but I'm gonna show everybody what you sent me this morning because it's so nice for people to see this. I hope you don't mind. I know you don't because I do it all the time. But let me show you what Omar sent me this morning. Right here. 300K. And yes, I do want the details at the end of the month, Mr. Omar, but this is really good. And a big thank you to you to posting it for me. He's up over 300K, his third milestone. Thank you, Omar. I appreciate that. I got it like 20 minutes before I logged in, so I thought I'd share it with you guys, okay? So we are making difference in people's lives. Gerald, Omar, Deanna, Jason, James, Deanna, Omar, Gerald, Richard, Bugs. Hey, Bugs, good to see you here. All right, let's talk catalysts. Let's talk catalysts. What do we got as catalysts? What do we got as catalysts? And let's try to be broad. Let's try to be as broad as we can. Okay. What are the catalysts? Okay. Richard says Powell, definitely Powell, LMT and RTX, defense, manufacturing, home builders. All right. You're doing really good so far. Any other ones? How about retail? How about chips? And how about bank stocks? Well, you actually mentioned bank stocks with Powell speaking. So you actually mentioned bank stocks because what Powell's going to be talking about today is going to be bank regulations. So you got Powell, you got LMT. So let me just write down what. All right, you missed a few. Does anybody want to add anything to what Richard has? I like Richard's. Richard's is good. It's not complete, but it's good. Anybody want to add to what Richard's saying? How about auto stocks? GM reported this morning. How about auto stocks? How about retail stocks? How about retail stocks? How about home builders? How about auto stocks, retail, home builders? And how about chip stocks? Anybody want to help me out on that? All right, let's see. Domino's is retail. Domino's is consumer. We got that. Coca-Cola's consumer. I have that. I got home builders. All right, so let me tell you mine, okay? Fed, homes, Banks and Fed together in under one. Consumer staples, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, Domino's, consumer staples. Defense stocks, RTX and LMT. Halliburton is an energy stock. I got that too. So here's what I have. Fed, consumer staples, defense, energy stocks, auto stocks, retail, home builders, and chips. Coca-Cola is consumer staples. So here's mine. I got them right here. Fed, consumer staples, defense, like RTX, those Palantir, energy stocks because of Halliburton, auto stocks because of General Motors, banks because of what the Fed is going to talk about today, retail because of Lulu and all the other retailers, home builders, and chip stocks. Why chip stocks? Well, let me show you why chip stocks. NXP, NXP, NXP. Retailers, Shopify, Lulu, retailers, consumer stocks, retailers, Shopify and Lulu, both double whammy here. DH Horton. Okay? So let me give you my catalysts. Fed banks, consumer staples, Coca-Cola, and with Coca-Cola reporting, consumer staples, defense, RTX and Lockheed Martin, crude oil, Halliburton, auto stocks, General Motors. General Motors is definitely an auto stock. Retail, Shopify and Lulu, home builders, and chip stocks. And I think I got everything. It's going to be a big, big day, a lot of volatility. We're going to have movement today. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, okay? Let me give you links again. VIP room. Yeah, and Lulu and Shop. That's retail, guys. Last time I checked, that's retail. And let me give you customer service live, the Cam and Gustavo show. And hopefully Jax will be there to teach everybody the right way to trade. Yeah, Richard, Omar, you guys are doing fantastic. You guys are doing fantastic. What I need to do is I need to sit down with you and I need to look at, here's what I need to do. I need to sit down with Richard and I need to sit down with Omar and I need to take your account apart and I need to tell you where you're lagging, where you're doing really good, where you're overdoing it, where you're underdoing it, where you're too long, too short. I need to go through your stuff with you. Hopefully I'll do it with Richard when he's here. And Omar, you'll just email me the info. And if you'd like, I can record it and do it live. If you don't want me to record it and do it live, I could do it privately. It's absolutely your call. But I'd like to do it for you. I'm not charging you anything for it. I'd like to see you continue making gains. If you guys are interested in doing that, I know Richard would be okay with that. But I don't know if Omar is, so we'll find out. Yeah. Cigarette stocks is also, again, a lot of catalysts today, but the big ones are, and by the way, chip, there's another reason for chips being a catalyst today. Okay. Let me show you. And I hate to say I told you so, but do you guys remember I said the chips need to go down to the 8-day EMA? We're right at the 8-day EMA on chips. Okay? Yeah, so are what you and I were doing last night, but I want to go a little more more detail. Whether you're risking too much, whether your losses are too big, your shorts versus your longs, how much you're making on your shorts, how much you're making on your longs, your correlation. Like, I'm not a beginner's thing like we do here. Going deep into your analysis and really taking it apart to see where you guys can do better because everybody can do better. All right, so let's start in the beginning. We got our catalysts. What are the markets doing right now? The markets are mixed. This is random nonsense right here. Yeah, the obvious. This is random nonsense right here. Just garbage trading action. Just garbage trading action right here. There's no rhyme or reason here. Now, one of the reasons why we look at catalysts is if you have a strong catalyst moving the market up and you have a strong catalyst moving the market down, they're going to ground each other. And we may be seeing a lot of that because there's a lot of catalysts. Okay. So, one of the biggest things you guys don't want to do is don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe and don't let your emotions get the best of you. And always remember what the ATR of a stock is, okay? Reviewing longs versus shorts, that was one of my weaknesses, and I'm getting better. Yesterday, flipped my switch from long to shorts position after. Richard, trust me. Well, you do trust me. I know you do trust me, but trust me, you could do better. I mean, you're not doing anything wrong, but everybody could do better. Everybody could do better. So I'm going to look at your account when you're here and take it apart so I could really, help you go to the next step. And I'm going to do the same thing for Omar. Again, I'm going to only do this if you guys are interested. I don't need to be doing this for you. This is just, to see where you guys can go from here, because you can definitely go places from here. Or you can you're not maximizing your risk to reward. But that's a different conversation. Richard and I had a little discussion of it yesterday. But anyways, let's talk. Catalysts, Powell speaking today. What is he talking about? Banks. And then you have manufacturing. Manufacturing is a catalyst. Manufacturing was the second thing on my sheet. Okay, manufacturing. You have Fed speakers today. So Fed dash banks. He's going to be talking about bank regulations, okay? So this is going to impact banks. It's not going to impact the bonds nearly as much as bank stocks, but we are still here, okay? As far as earnings, you guys all should have this sheet. I posted it for you on a Monday, but I'll post it again for you here in case you don't have it. We'll talk about CNC in a few minutes when we talk about my short stocks. By the way, car rod, CNC has been on my short list. Well, you know what? The folks here can tell you how long CNC has been on my short list. Yeah, Omar, you guys have to both trade to the short side. Remember when I started the pit, all 160 trades, 80% of them were to the short side, and my win rate was 96%. You have to trade the same way to the downside as you trade to the upside. You can't mess around with that, or you're cheating, okay? US dollar is breaking down. I mentioned to you guys that the US dollar may be coming back down. If we break this level right here, 97.10, I think we're going to go a little lower. If we do, you may see a little more upside in the gold market. How do I feel about the gold market right now? What does the percentage mean on the list? Sorry, Saida, I don't understand what you're saying. What does the percentage mean on the list? Oh. That's the percentage of implied volatility expecting on the day of the earnings. So if the number's really high, you may be able to do a credit spread. Okay? Don't worry, Omar. I got you, man. I got you. I'll be here for you whether you're making $5 million a month or whether you're making $5 a month. I'm here for you, Omar. I'm here for everybody who really wants me in their corner. I am here for you. All right? Sometimes it's a matter of removing a mental block this big that will take you from making $5,000 a month to making $200,000 a month. And if you don't believe me, ask Richard and Omar. They will tell you that. Okay? This is why I spend every day doing the same thing, because every day I do it, you'll come closer and closer to breaking that. All right? Bond market. Bond market's not really doing anything. We're not really getting any bias from the bond market. That may change after Fed speaks today at 8:30. So keep your eye on the bond market. But as of right now, I'm not seeing the bond market doing anything. And also, it is very true that right now we're in earnings season. So you're going to see a lot of volatility from the stock market. You need to accept that it's possible, Jason, first. You don't need to delete that message. You need to accept that it's possible. Okay? So gold, let's talk a little bit about gold. Now, I know a lot of you are holding gold from here, okay? You're holding gold from right here. If you're still holding gold, if you're still holding gold, okay, meaning you've been holding a position for quite some time, please don't do anything. Wait till we're above this level right here, okay? If you haven't bought gold yet, you have my consent to buy gold if we're above 34.30, 34.40. I prefer to go as high up here as possible. My ultimate goal is to hold this trade till we get to this area and liquidate it with a profit, or if we break this with gusto, to add to your position right here. So not right now, we're still at this level. But if you see us going to 34.40 and you don't have a position yet, it's okay to add a little bit up here, like around 34.30, 34.40. The more we get up here, the better. Don't try to be cheap with yourself. It's not gonna be good. So be really, really, really carefully. What indicator tells us if a stock could trade above or below the average true range? Bad Gunner, can you ask me that at lunchtime today? I'll be talking about that for about an hour. So I'll be talking about that plenty today at noon, about ATR and what indicator to use to trade above or below the ATR. It's a good indicator. I mean, it's a great question, and I'll be talking about it plenty. Just ask me the same question at noon today, okay? Please, great question. Look at that. We got 558 people here in 22 minutes. Love it. Thumbs up, folks. Thumbs up if you guys don't mind. So if you're new to gold, if you haven't bought gold here, if you're not sitting on a loser, it's okay to start buying up at the mid 3400s or low 3400s as soon as we're above this level, with the idea that we're going to sell around 3500. If it gets strong here and if the bars start picking up here, which they are right now, we may hold into this and add our position. But I'd love to be above 3,500 on gold. And again, if the US dollar continues breaking down, which I pretty much believe it will, I mean, I can't, I don't have a crystal ball, but this is the main level right here, 97, that we're gonna be cooling off. Crude oil is doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. By the way, this time of year is actually pretty mellow for crude oil. If you guys recall, this is when heating oil starts getting really hot because of the summer months, but this is not a real seasonal period for crude oil. Notice how we're just sitting at the 200-day moving average. Okay? We're not really doing anything. There's no directional bias from crude oil. Okay? What is considered high volatility percentage? It depends. You have to look at the historic average. Laden, you have to compare. All right, China. What is China doing? China's breaking out. This is really positive for Chinese stocks listed in the USA. This is very positive for casino stocks. No, there's no reason for Powell to step down whatsoever. There's no reason for him to step down. Okay? No reason for him to step down. Okay, let's continue. So just to review, US dollar, I think we're going to see more downside, which will make exports to other countries a little cheaper. Bond market's not really doing much. Gold is trying to go higher, which is defensive. Crude oil is doing absolutely nothing. China is killing it right now. In the short term, it's killing it right now. And Bitcoin looks like it wants to break above 95, this level right here. I still like this level, and I like how this level is holding, but I need to see a rally in the next day or so. Hey, Steve, how are you? Yeah, that stock, you asked me, Steve, you asked me about HIMS. It's not really going against us. It's just kind of going sideways right now. So I need the stock to start going down, to break down, for us to get out of it. And I'll send you an email if I haven't done already on it today, okay? All right. So let's put everything together. Okay? Let's put everything together and then break it down again, okay? Investors brace for a lot of corporate earnings. Folks, when you have a lot of corporate earnings and you have especially a lot of stocks going up and down, a lot of times that just grounds the market and creates this type of price action when there's just not a lot going on. Notice S&P's positive, NASDAQ's negative, very little, Dow's negative. We're just all over the place right now. And you got to give your stocks a little more room to breathe and also take your ATR into account, okay? All right. Secretary Levitt said U.S. President Trump could issue additional unilateral tariffs before August 1st. I don't think the market or me or any professional trader really focuses on this now unless there's something imminent coming out. This is totally has now become the boy who cried wolf. And I'm not talking about the president. I'm talking about this message. This message is just, I mean, I don't know even where we stand right now. I don't know who's supposed to make a move. I don't know who said what. I've completely checked out of the whole tariff craziness. I've just, if you ask me a question, I'll be like, I have no idea. I just don't know anymore. Okay. Uh, Philippine president is supposed to come to the Oval Office for a deal. I'm not holding my breath. Um, Verizon climbed 4%. Top. Remember yesterday, that was a catalyst. 4%. They had earnings. They did better than expected. ARM and Qualcomm chip stocks did better than expected. Block surged because it was going to become part of the S&P. Those stocks we want to watch. Those stocks usually have pretty good follow through. Okay. Oh, small caps. Shit, I forgot to give you small caps. Here, let me give them to you. IVF right here has to go above 535. IVF 535. Yeah, it's got to prefer actually above 580, but yeah, I'll take 535. And DFLI. This has to go above 45 cents. It's to go above here. I like this one a lot, DFLI, but it's got to go above 45 cents. If it doesn't go above 45 cents, I'm not interested. Okay. Sorry, I totally forgot about that. I did have them. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, Powell should end his term. Nobody's going to fire him. Nobody's going to, I find it hard to believe that that they're opening up a criminal investigation on Powell spending billions of dollars renovating something that he has no benefit in. It's part of the Fed. I mean, it's silly. Okay. Uh, right here, and it's going to destabilize the market. So we don't want that. Second quarter earnings are coming out. I mean, we're coming out from everywhere today. We got Coca-Cola. We got Texas Instrument. That's a chip stock, folks. We got Philip Morris. We got RTX. We got Lockheed Martin. We got DHR. We got GM. We're everywhere and nowhere. Okay. Expect volatility. And I'm going to talk a little bit about ATR in a minute. Okay. Manufacturing is coming out today. Powell is speaking at 8:30. When is manufacturing coming out? At 10 o'clock. Yeah. So no initiating anything till after 10 o'clock. Liquidation mode only. Jerome Powell is set to deliver opening remarks later today, conference on framework for large banks. That's why I said banks is a catalyst today. Okay. Hope you are okay, Eduardo. Here is the link for customer service live, 11 to 1. And here's the link for VIP room where I will be digesting and going over ATR and your favorite stock today. Well, I just think that it's kind of silly. He embezzled money to spend on a building that he doesn't own, that's owned by the Fed. Like, what? Like, now this is the most honest guy in the world, right? So he's being investigated for a budget for a building that he has nothing to do with personally. Like, what the? It's just retarded, okay? That's just retarded, okay? It's funny even talking about it, okay? Um, Powell futures priced in 97. We're not going to have any rate changes for a foreseeable future. Europe is down 0.65 this morning. Concerns the U.S. trade agreement may not be finalized before August 1st. My concern is that it will never be finalized. Forget about August 1st, that it will never be finalized. Chemical stocks underperformed on Tuesday. China closed a little bit higher. They're doing really good. Sentiment remains upbeat. The country began construction of the world's biggest hydropower dam in Tibet. That's pretty amazing stuff. Japan closed slightly lower as investors returned from a long holiday week. Waiting uncertainty, Liberal Democrat Party, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to get into their politics. Now, Consumer discretionary, folks. Consumer discretionary. If Lulu and Shopify are not consumer discretionary, I really don't know what is. And they both got downgraded. That's not good. NXP, NXPI. In case you're curious how big of a stock this is, let me show you. Right here, 1.64%. It's in here. It's part of this sector. It is a big stock. It's like Marvell, it's like Intel, it's like On. It has impact. It's like Cuervo. Hmm, I thought one of my cats was here. Yeah, it's like Cuervo. It will impact the market. Okay. Hey, Carlos, good to see you here. You too, Omar. Have a great day, and let me know how you're doing later. It's 1.6. Yeah, it's a big stock. It's a big stock. More importantly, remember, these are all commoditized. The more commoditized the industry, the smaller market cap can have a bigger influence. Hence why these two stocks, these two stocks are not big stocks. They don't have a big market cap. But you know how many people use Shopify for their home businesses? And do you know how many people shop at Lulu? That's a major, they're commoditized because if one retailer does bad, if two retailers do bad, the odds are other retailers will do bad. If one shoe company is doing bad, the odds are other shoe companies will do bad. They're very related. Okay. Have a good one, guys. Have a good one. DHI had positive results. Basically, we're all over the place right now. If you look at the SPY, you'll see that the SPY is just down and now starting to come back up. All night it was just coming down, and now we're starting to come back up, and we're still very, very choppy. We don't have a lot of directional bias right now. But what I don't like is the fact that SMH is hitting the 8-day EMA, which I told you that it would. Let's look at RSP. RSP's doing nothing. Dow's doing nothing. All right, let's continue. We may just be choppy. All right, let's talk about the stock market a little bit. Volatility. What is volatility doing? Nothing. Is volatility rising? Is volatility spiking? No. Do we need to really be concerned right now that the market is having a major sell-off? No, we're not there right now. And this thing is very, very sensitive. Very sensitive. Remember, this measures the add the money options on the S&P 500. Okay? All right. How about sectors? Let's look at sectors. Well, what do you know? We still have some. Look at this, guys. Consumer discretionary, communication. These are speculative sectors right here. QQQ, semiconductors, and technology. The only thing that's completely out of whack here is utilities, but I'm thinking this is going up because industrial stocks, because of nuclear, are going up. Remember, utilities are now nuclear. Remember that, right? Um, Chip stocks are not chip stocks anymore. They're AI stocks. Wink, wink. And utility stocks are now nuclear stocks. You all got me now? We got to change our lingo here, okay? We got to make them a little cool. If you would have told me if you would have told me 20 years ago that utility stocks would be nuclear stocks, I would have probably fell over. But here we are. Boyd says he's being investigated for the cost overruns. The money went somewhere. They are trying to find out where. Boyd, let me ask you a question. Where do you think where do you think it's gone? I mean, what do you think Powell did with that money? You think Powell pocketed that money? Jeez Louise. God. Like one of the most squarest people on earth, Powell. Maybe we should arrest him for removing his. Maybe we should remove him for removing the thing under the bed. What do they call those labels on the mattress? You know, maybe we should remove him for that. I mean, come on, let's be real here. Kickbacks. Oh, kickbacks to Mexican workers. Right, right. Of course, of course. I mean, do you guys really believe what you're writing even? I mean, it's ludicrous. Oh, all right, let's continue. Do we have sector strength? Let's take a look. Yes, yes. 126 on the upside. We have some directional bias here. Downside, very little. 52-week highs, 70, not a lot of stocks. This is not a broad-based rally. This is not a broad-based rally. Only 44 stocks are making 20-week highs. 44 stocks. Only 53 stocks are making 50-day highs. The only thing we got going in our favor is the 90-day high, that's it. There's not a lot of momentum, which means we're seeing the same type of stocks moving higher, which means the mags are getting a little too much overpowered. This is not good. There's too much power in the mags. Look, they're driving this market. They keep driving this market. Maybe, Rick, maybe poor construction management, you know? That's funny. Mexican workers. So we got to be careful because if the mega caps give out, here's what I'm trying to tell you. The markets are looking good right now, but very few large cap stocks are making the move. If the mega caps give out, this is what the market's going to look like right now. As a matter of fact, this is what the market is looking like right now. This is a very fair representation of the market right now. We don't need an investigation, Rice. We don't need any of that. It's just nonsense. It's nonsense. It's actually funnier than hell, okay? Yes, Jerome Powell going to prison for misappropriating money that he had no benefit, that doesn't benefit him in any way. All right. Do you see this right here? See that? This is what the market is really looking like right now. The market is not looking like this. The reason you think the market is looking like this. Look, I want to show you the difference. This is what you think you're looking at, but this is really what you're doing right now. This is really what you're trading right now. Right here. Right there. That's what you're trading right now. If you take the mags out of the equation, if you take this out of the equation, the mags, you're going to be left with RSP. You're going to be left with this. This is really how the market is looking right now. Does that mean we're going down, Roger? Well, does this look like we're going down to you? This is just sideways chop. This is just sideways chop. Roger, is that why you have 50 stocks making 52-week highs and yes. Look, same thing. Look at the Dow Jones. See this? And by the way, I hate to say I told you so, but we're at the 8-day EMA. Okay? Now, there's something I want to before I go further, there's something I want to warn all of you about. Now, this is where you should be paying very strong attention to me. Right now, we are in earnings season, okay? Whenever you have earnings season, you have a lot more volatility in the market, which means your stock is going to go a lot more up and down because the market usually has more up and down. What you need to do, let's see, do I have ATR here? No, I probably should make one with an ATR here, but let me just show you. Let me just show you real quick. What you need to do right now on every one of your stocks, and I need to do this too. I mean, I don't need to do this because I could do it with my eyes, but you need to do this. What you need to do is put the ATR indicator on every one of your charts right now. Okay? Lewis, I can give it to you, but it doesn't work that well. Okay? You see the volatility right now on the SPY? It's $3.58 on the Dow per day. Folks, it's very, very easy. It's very, very easy to get blindsided and not knowing what the volatility is, okay, and get chopped out of a stock. I'm going to give you a real example right now from a trade that we currently have in the pit, okay? Here's a trade we currently have in the pit. I want to give you this example because it's a really good example, okay? So we got into the stock, I don't remember where, but I think 154 something, and it's touching the 8-day EMA right now. It's actually bouncing off the 8-day EMA right now, okay? My stop on the stock would be right below the 15-day EMA, okay? Right here. But I want to show you guys something. I got only like 2 emails. Roger, what's going on with Palantir? I want to show you guys something. Look what the ATR on Palantir is. What's the Palantir ATR? It's about $5, right? That means the stock can fluctuate $5 per day, and it's still completely random. Thank you, Naples fan. I appreciate that. 154.48, right. Thank you for that. Which means the stock can fluctuate 5 points, and it's completely random. Roger, Palantir went $3 against me. The stock can move $5, roughly $5, and the price is completely random. 10. Miller time. I've given it many, many times. It's 10. 10. So, do you understand why it's important for you to look at ATR? Take your entry on a stock, and if your stock is moving within a random entry, that means there's no movement in the stock. There's no directional bias in the stock. It's just random movement. Do you guys understand what I just said? Commander is responsible. George, is he a contractor? Was he last time I checked, the contractor's usually responsible. The contractor, not the commander. The commander is the contractor. We should first talk to the contractor. Let's continue with this. So do you guys understand? Would it be all right to add to that trade? No, Michael, it would not be all right to add to that trade. Where people come up with this stuff, I have no idea. Do you guys remember the note, Michael, where I said never, ever add to your losing trades, only add to your winning trades? Do you remember that part? Or is that something that we missed? Okay, my point is this. If you bought a stock at 154.48, and if the average random movement is $5, is the stock really going against you at this point? Do you guys understand what I am saying? I want to make sure you guys understand what I am saying. Bugs, this has nothing to do with trade what you see. This has to do with risk. I want to make sure you guys understand what I'm saying, that you always have to take the ATR of a stock into account, and you need to make sure that your fluctuation is beyond that level if you want to see if a stock is making a real move or not. Bob says no, then Bob says yes. You said you would email me, but since you're here talking about it, I have an eye on 144.50 near 15-day. Yep. Yeah, I'm actually right. Richard, look where I drew the black line. It's funny. Richard says 144.50. Look where my line is. Look where my line is. Look where my line is. Do you see we're looking at the same thing? So if a movement, so it's really important for you. It's really important for you. The reason I'm using this as an example, because there's a great teaching lesson here, and I get to give you an update. So I kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Point is, if volatility is $5, you should expect that stock to move at least that much while you're holding it and not get freaked out, because that's what the average movement is. You can't escape the average movement of a stock. Roger, I never signed up for that. That's fine. Before I put on a trade, put on the ATR. And if you're subtract the ATR from the price you're entering. And if you're not willing to hold it to that level, don't get into a trade. Did you guys understand what I just said? When I give you a trade, look at the ATR, subtract the ATR from the entry price. If you're not willing to let it go at least that much, that means don't take the trade because that's the average movement of the trade. Capiche? Does everybody understand what I am saying here? No, I'm not giving you a free trade. I'm using this as a lesson to show you that you can't freak out of a stock when it's fluctuating its daily range. Folks, let's not get into politics here. Really, I really don't care about. I think it's just funny, you know. Powell. I think it would be very funny if Powell lost his job because because the building he works in was too expensive to remodel. I mean, that's retarded. Okay, but let's just forget about that. So we're at the 8-day EMA. I want you guys to understand you need to have the ATR. I know the ATR because I could read this like the back of my hand, but a lot of you don't. So you need to know. A lot of you are probably thinking, ooh, we should probably get out of Palantir. But now that you've seen this, you've seen that the ATR is $5, that you got to give it $5 minimum. Minimum. That's random fluctuation. Random fluctuation. Okay. So I just want to make sure you guys understand what I am saying. Okay. All right. All right. So let's talk about different sectors and all that other stuff. Let's actually see what the market's doing right now. I'm going to use this because this is dynamic and it's in real time. So this is the SPY. Don't be surprised if we came down to 626.37, right around here. Don't be surprised. Okay? Don't be surprised. RSP, I would expect us to just kind of hover around here and not really go anywhere. Okay? To just kind of hover here and not really go anywhere. SMH is starting to move, but we're at the 8-day EMA. What am I expecting today? I'm expecting a bounce off the 8-day EMA. If we break the 8-day EMA, I'm going to expect the 15-day to hold. If the 15-day doesn't hold, then you're going to hear me saying, I hate to say I told you so, when we go back to 265. Ah, I got you good there, didn't I? If 15-day doesn't hold, 265 is the next level. No, I didn't forget about it. I'm here to remind you, we are going to go see 265 again before it's all said and done. Okay. QQQ is actually looking pretty good. We're still above the 8-day EMA. We're still moving directionally here. We need to trade above yesterday's close, which is 464.18. And we're sitting there right now. We're bouncing off. By the way, I want you guys to know that previous day's close is a major level. Is a major level. Okay. That's why there's a line here. Look how it's resisting it right here. That's a major level. Pre-market high, pre-market low, and last night's closing price are very important levels. Okay? 10-day ATR, yes, 10-day ATR. By the way, if you use 5-day ATR or 14-day ATR, it's not going to be all that off, but I like to use the 10-day ATR. I've had some students who use the 5-day ATR too, which is fine, but I like to use the 10-day. I want to get a little more average in there. So am I expecting any craziness in the market? No, I like the fact. I really like here's what I'm really worried about. Okay. What I'm really worried about is this. And I know I'm saying this again, but I want you guys to understand that this is a problem. This is mega caps. Okay. Mega caps are flat right now. Mega caps really took a dump last night and now they went back up here, which is great. We're above yesterday's close, which is great. So we're actually up on the day, which is great. But my problem is this, folks. This is what the market looks like if you take the Google, the Meta, and all those mega caps away. This is what it looks like. It's not really doing anything. It's not moving down, and it's not really moving up. It's just not doing anything. And if you look at momentum levels right here, look at 50-day high, 53 stocks, 31 stocks, 44 stocks, 14 stocks, 25 stocks making 52-week lows, 72 stocks. The only directional bias you have is at the 90-day level. And you don't have a lot. You only have 126. Yesterday, you had 160. Before that, you had 256. And then before that, we had 129. So to me, the way I'm interpreting this market, yes, it adds as a support or resistance. It does. Yesterday's closing always adds as a support or resistance. That's another thing I'll do in the VIP room today. I'll tell you what all the levels are that act as support and resistance for intraday. That's something I should have done a long time ago. So there's not a lot of directional bias. The market's going up because you have large caps like Nvidia. This is why the mega caps are. This is why the market's going up. Look, Google, Meta, um, Microsoft. If you take away the mags, this is what you're stuck with. So there's not a lot of directional bias in the market right now. What does that mean? It means two things. The stocks that are moving do have institutional sponsorship, which means they should continue moving. But you got to be careful because you're not dealing with a lot of stuff here. And you have earnings, which means we have heightened ATR. So here's where we're at right now. We have a lot of movement from mega caps. We don't have any movement from anything else. Look at IWM. This is what the market is looking at right now. This is what the market's looking like right now. This is really important for me to make sure you guys understand that the market is not looking like this. That the market is looking like this. And when the market's looking like this, you don't have a lot of directional bias. Yes, Oliver, not in directional market. You don't have a lot of directional bias right now. What does that mean? That means we don't need to be really tight on our stops because the market's not really going anywhere. And that means we can't give our runners a lot of room to breathe because the market is not really directional right now. Everything I'm saying to applies to everything except the mega caps, the big mega caps. Okay? Really, really important stuff, what I'm talking about right now. Okay? All right. As you could see here, the market's not really doing much right now. Basically, we're probably going to be near the mean. Richard says, remember the relative strength example I sent you yesterday with SPY was collapsing? I sure do. I sure do. I sure do. So let's talk about the stocks that I like for the short side. These are all new stocks. I've never given them to you before. You've never seen them here. I'm lying straight through my teeth right now. SRPT. First time I'm giving it to you guys, right? How about GIS? First time you're ever seeing it on my short list. This thing's been on my short list like every other day for the last month. How about CAG, right? First time we're ever talking about it here. Like the 100th time. How about Bro? Yes, we've never ever talked about Bro. It's a big surprise. This is the first time on my list. It's like the 50th time on my list. Okay, how about this one? This is a new one, CNC. Yeah, I know. You guys have never seen this one before. It's a shock. It just keeps going down as I keep telling you it's going down every single day. And you keep looking at it, but you don't trade it. But I gave it to you right here. I gave it to you right here. I gave it in the pit. I gave it right here, and I gave it right here, and I gave it again right here. You want me to give you upcoming earnings document? I already shared it, but here it is again if you want it. There you go, Donna Dang. Hopefully I got your name right. Okay, let's continue. CNC, not a lot of directional bias. How about this one? First time you're ever seeing it on my list. I promise. First time ever, right? If I had $1 for every time I've given you every stock that I just went over there, I probably wouldn't need to trade today. How about this one? Must be a first time for this one too, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then this one too. Never gave you this stock before. Yeah, it wasn't on my watch list in the VIP room the day before yesterday. Oh, no. No, Boyd, you shouldn't know. What I'm saying is you misinterpreted what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's not a lot of direction to this market outside of the FANGs. So if you're trading the FANGs, you should trade them like they're directional stocks. But if you're trading other stocks, you got to trade them more like the market is choppy right now. And if the market's choppy, what would you do? You would give them a lot more room to the downside because the market's not going anywhere, and you would be fast to take profits because the market's not going anywhere. That is the ticket to improving my shorts. Yes. You understand, boy, just want to make sure you understand. That means the only stocks that are giving us directional bias right now are MAGs. And if the MAGs lose their directional bias, the markets get choppy. How do we trade when the market's choppy? We don't really worry about our stops too much because the market's choppy, but we don't let our profits run too much because the market's choppy. Basically, we're in this type of a trading range. But if you're trading MAGs, you can give them a little room. The problem is you can't give them any room because they have earnings this week. So you avoid trading MAGs and you trade other stocks that are behaving similar to MAGs, which is exactly what I'm talking about right now. Okay. How about LB? LB, Land Bridge. In this case, this may be the first time I'm actually giving you the stock. I don't remember this one too much. Okay. Now let me give you my longs, okay? I am not screening for earnings. You will have to screen for earnings yourself, okay? I am not screening for earnings. This stock, look, see this, Boyd? It has earnings coming up. You see Google? It has earnings coming up. So if you're going to be trading these, you got to be very nimble. And this is overextended, by the way. AVGO, another stock that I really like right now. I would wait for it to get to the 8-day, which is not that far. I would buy this off the 8-day if I could, actually. AVGO, APH. First time you've ever seen the stock on my list, right? Net. James, I don't understand your question. How long to hold on to DFLI? Send me an email. I don't even know where DFLI is or where we got out of DFLI or what is DFLI. SGI. Canada. Canada's on the move again, Richard. CNM. I'll look at that DFLI in a second. Tygo. Those are my long stocks. Now, what was it you said? DFLI? Dragonfly? Do you remember the part where I said, please don't do anything till it's at least 45? Thank you, Jeff. James, did you miss the part where I said, please make sure you don't do anything until it's above 45 cents? Yeah, I don't remember the names. I just remember the price action. Remember nothing till 45? I have it written down right here. 45 right there. Those are my two stocks right there. It says 45 right there. Right there, 45. And the other one, IVF, nothing before 535, which is right here. Right here, actually. Okay? I did say that. Okay. So I gave you my longs. I gave you my shorts. I'm going to work right now. Here's the deal. We have earnings today. We're going to have a two-sided market. If you are long a stock that has earnings over the next 24 hours, you don't want to be in that stock. If you are gambling, assuming you don't have a time spread. Don't do that. I'm seeing a lot of randomness and a lot of non-directional bias in the market. If you're holding a stock and the stock is against you, make sure you add the ATR and make sure the 10-day ATR, and then take your entry price and subtract your entry price, subtract the ATR from your entry price. If you're still in that range, congratulations. You can't get out of a stock because your movement is random. And you shouldn't be exiting a stock because of it, penalizing yourself for random movement. Let me give you an example. Let's say we're trading Amazon, okay? Let's just say we're trading Amazon. And let's say you got into Amazon at 228, okay? And you're asking yourself, should I dump Amazon? You go right here, you go to ATR, you apply it. ATR is $3.50. What's $3.50 minus 328? Right? That's 124.50, right? Excuse me, 224.50, 224.50. Where are we right now? We're at 229. This is random right here. So you would have to take 228 and subtract 450 from 350 from that. Okay. So 328, the low is 325. See how we never went to we see the low 324.57. It would have went 4 points against you yesterday, and you would have gotten stopped out. And we'll look where it is right now. Randomness. You got to make sure you're not beyond randomness. Use the ATR. Take the high and the low. Add the ATR to the high. Take the low. Subtract the ATR from the low. See if your price is still there. If it is, you're random, baby. You don't need to liquidate anything. Okay. Boyd says, got it. Quick in, slow out. Yes. Right. Well, till we're out of this range. Look. And look why. Boyd, you need to understand why. If the market's not going anywhere, think about this. The market's not going anywhere. If the market is not going anywhere and a stock goes against you $4, but it's a big cap stock and the market is not going anywhere, the odds are it's going to bounce right back up. Similarly, if you have a profit, are you going to be waiting for it to run away? The market's not running away. So you shouldn't be waiting for your profit to run away. Use the bias of the market to determine how to position your stop loss and your profit target in relationship to the volatility of the market. What I just explained to you, you're not going to learn anywhere else. Most professionals don't even understand this. The bias of the market is determining the wind, how windy it is with your favorite stock. You understand? So if this is moving nowhere, the odds are your stock isn't going to run away with the circus. If your stock is not going to run away with the circus, and let's say it moves $4 a day, well, if it moves $4 a day and it's not running away from the circus, the odds are it's going to move back to its regular trading rate. So if you have a $4 profit, you take it. But what if it goes $4 against you? The odds are it's going to come back to the mean. Why would you see my point? Now, if the market was moving down and I had a long position, it would be a different story. If the market is moving up, then I would hold out for a bigger winner. But if the market's not doing anything, then you shouldn't be doing much with your profits and you shouldn't be doing much with your losers. Do you understand? Because the market dictates what happens to your favorite large cap stock. You should listen to what I just said about 50 times. It's that important. The whole ATR, you're not trading your stock in isolation. Your stock is part of the market. If the market is really angry, your stock is going to be really angry. If the market's really happy, your stock is going to be really happy. Let me give you a good example. Let's say Trump comes out with the news and says, forget about all this tariff stuff. I've been losing my mind. It's all gone. The market rallies 1,000 points. You don't think your favorite stock is going to go up? Come on. All this is just hypothetical. I'm just trying to illustrate something. Or let's say Powell says, I retire. How about that? I'm assuming the market's going to go up because people will assume interest rates will go down. And the market goes up 1,000 points. The Dow breaks out and goes there. Don't you think your favorite stock, like especially if it's Palantir or Microsoft, it's going to bolt? The stock market dictates what happens to your favorite stocks. How dare you use logic and reason for trading? I know. But you guys understand. Think of it like this. You're part of an organism. The market is a living being. And the market has a fever. Don't you think all of the insides are going to be hot too? Those S&P 500 stocks make up this market. If this market is doing this, then your favorite stock is going to be doing this. If the market's doing this, then your favorite stock is doing this. So if you have stocks that are against you, but the market's not doing anything and they're still random, why in the world would you liquidate them? Do you understand? It makes no sense. You have random movement in a very low moving market. All right, guys, how about some thumbs up before I go? How about some thumbs up? Yeah, allow for flow. Exactly. All right, let me give you my links. Let me give you my links. VIP room where I'll be taking your favorite stocks today and giving you options, volatility levels, stop losses, all that stuff. And Gramster will join me today. Gramster will join me. And you guys know why I call him Gramster, right? Because we bought a hamster and we put it in his office and he had it there for a while. So I call him Gramster. And here's the link for Customer Service Live. Don't miss out. If you have any questions, email me. But what I just explained to you with volatility is really, really important. Because it'll stop you from getting scared when your stock is moving randomly, and it'll stop you from doing crazy stuff like waiting for big profits when the market's doing nothing. ATR is very important. Piet de Brock from Netherlands, I wish you farewell. Bye, everybody. Have a great day. I'll see you around. Bye, everybody. It depends, Rodolfo. It depends. It just depends on what the market is doing. Adjust your ATR based on what the market is doing. Okay? Folks, be careful today. We're going to have a lot of volatility. We're going to have a lot of directional bias, but what I think we're going to have just random trading action. Don't let the volatility scare you unless we're moving beyond random. And randomness is figured out by ATR. Bye. Bye, everybody.